9 years ago, I almost made a huge mistake in my theater room. I had purchased some clips La Scalas on Craigslist, got a great deal for them. I was really just curious on how they sound. So I brought them into my theater room and I quickly realized I really like the way these things sound. The problem was at that time, the cabinet that I had in this room would not accommodate those speakers. You see, the clips La Scalas, they were huge, about almost 3 feet wide. And so putting them behind the cabinet meant that they would be firing straight down this way, and over on this wall it'd be firing straight down that way. I could not tow them in towards the listening position. The other issue I had in that cabinet, I had a 103-inch Elite screen, but it was not acoustically transparent. So that meant I could not place that center channel directly behind the screen. So I got together with a friend of mine, and together we designed a brand new cabinet. A cabinet that would accommodate a much larger screen, but also accommodate these new speakers that I bought. And when I shared those initial drawings online, every single person told me, absolutely, do not go with wood. You need to make this thing black. You need to make it disappear. You don't want to see reflections, all of that. So I was dead set. I'm going to make this black. We're going to just stain it like black, so it's going to hide all the wood. You won't even be able to see it. It's going to just disappear into the room. But once I began to see how much custom work went into building this cabinet that you see here, I fell in love with it. And I knew that I did not want to hide its beauty, its craftsmanship. To me, it would be like a sin to hide that and to paint it black or to even stain it black so that you could barely see this beautiful woodwork. And so one thing I want to share with you in this video is we get the privilege when we're building our room to design it how we want. You're going to share that online. You're like, hey, I want to do a Batman themed room. And there are going to be some people who say, man, that's going to sound awesome. That's going to look great. I'm excited for you. Other people are going to try to discourage you. Oh, no, man, you don't want a themed room. You want a void room. You want a room that's got pitch black walls and pitch black ceiling and a pitch black front, and all you can see is the screen. Dark carpet. The problem is they're going off of what would be the most ideal for the image quality. They're trying to paint this perfect picture of what a theater room should be. But the reality is we all have personality. I wanted my room to have something different than what everybody else was doing, which was basically just a false wall with black velvet around the edges and then a screen in the middle. I wanted something that had character, but I also wanted something that was going to provide two things that were crucial to me. When we designed this cabinet, I basically said, I want it to have two things. Number one, I want easy access behind the screen. Because when you think about this big screen, if you ever have to get to your speakers, let's say a driver fails, or maybe you just want to upgrade, it's a pain in the butt to get this screen. Like, okay, I'm going to need two people, me and somebody else. Even if it's easy to uninstall, maybe it's just sitting up on some kind of bracket, some hooks, and it's easy to lift up and move out of the way, but where are you going to put it? So now you got to slide it over here. Now it's in the way when you walk in while you're trying to repair or swap out whatever you've got behind here. So I wanted easy access behind my screen. I also wanted easy access to my equipment. And so my friend came up with this great idea. I'm just going to turn on a light here. And what he suggested is, let's put a latch under here. It's just a hood latch like on a car. That unlocks. And now I can easily lift this up and get access behind my screen. The other thing, I wanted easy access to my equipment. And so he said, no problem. Let's put it on rails. So when I reach under here, grab this, it's pretty heavy, but I can pull this all the way out here. And now I can actually climb in there to get behind my equipment, to be able to access all my cables if I want to swap out a component. Because I review stuff online, and so I knew that I was going to be swapping out amplifiers and processors and AVRs and all that, and I wanted to make it simple. So I wanted to encourage you guys, build your theater the way you want it. Now, of course, there are some standard practices. There are some good practices. Things that you probably should do, like I should have replaced the entire bit of carpet in here. It's light. So number one, it shows dirt, it shows stains, you know, because we do wear shoes in here. I know some of you guys don't. We choose to wear shoes in our house. It's just a Florida thing, southern thing. But having a darker carpet definitely helps. It helps with the reflection. So some people will recommend, if you've got lighter carpet like this, at least, you know, put down something dark up front, like here, just on the floor, maybe about 3 feet, so it stops reflections. Some people take black velvet and they'll put it about 3 feet right here, going up the walls, again, to hide those reflections. But at the end of the day, you've got to build it the way that you want to build it. The last thing I wanted to do is build a theater room because someone else thought that would be a better idea. Some people are going to tell you, hey, you've got to have theater seating. That's me. You build it how you want it. If you want a couch, put a couch. If you want a sectional, put a sectional. If you want a big bean bag, they make these things called comfy sacks. A friend of mine has a really awesome home theater in his basement. He has 4 theater seats in the back row, 4 or 5, actually I think 5. And then right in the front, he's got this 8-foot comfy sack, a huge bean bag. It's like a $500 bean bag. And that was a long time ago when he bought it, so it's probably more than that now. But you build your room the way that you want to build it. You build it in such a way that it makes you want to come in here to spend time with your friends, to spend time with your family. Build a space that's comfortable. Build a space that's fun. Build a space maybe that even represents you. Now, there are some things you can do that could change the acoustics in the room. Like, a lot of guys like to put movie posters. I chose not to put movie posters in here. Would it be cool? Sure it would be. It looked really neat. The problem is it's going to change. It's going to create a lot of hard surfaces, and I didn't want that. But if that's what you want, go for it. Is it going to impact some of the audio quality? Probably so. But at the end of the day, you got to love this thing. And so don't let people discourage you from building it the way that you want to build it. Now, of course, take their advice, because there may be some things you just didn't know. So going back to this, the main reason why everybody told me, Michael, you need to make this thing black. They were concerned about reflections. And so, yes, when I first fire up the projector and we're sitting here and I'm going through Kaleidescape and I'm picking out the movie and then we hit play, do I see reflections here? Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing. I have never once been watching a movie, ever, in the 9 years that we've had this cabinet, never once watched a movie and went, oh man, I should have listened to everybody. I should have painted it black because I see the reflections. No, I've got a big enough screen that, man, when the movie kicks on and the sound starts enveloping you and you're immersed in that experience, you forget that there's a cabinet. You don't see there's a cabinet. You don't see any reflections on the wall because the walls aren't super, super dark. But again, I did not want a pitch black room. I didn't want a void room. But if that's what you want, go for it. Some people don't like LED lights. They're like, man, LED lights is so distracting. I think LED lights are amazing. Now, do I want them on while I'm watching a movie? No. Now, if I'm gaming, sure. You know, I've got some LED lights that go around the outside of the screen. Gaming? Sure, absolutely. That'd be fun. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I'll lift up the screen, turn off all the lights, and I'll just listen to music, and I have my LED lights on the inside, what I call my reveal lighting. And I call it reveal lighting because when you shut the lights off, you can actually see my speakers through the screen. It's a pretty cool little effect. But I built this the way that I want it. And so I just want to encourage you guys, build something. If you love home theater, don't let the size of your room discourage you. Don't let your budget discourage you. Man, I rocked some really, really crazy, inexpensive stuff in this room for, gosh, probably at least the first 10 years of us living here. We've been here 20 years. And I've shared with you my journey. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it down below and as well as into the video. Just showing you. I started with a 19-inch TV, man. A couple speakers, used AVR, used subwoofer. And the reality is I did the best I could with what I had, and I enjoyed it. And every so often a good deal would come along and I'd be able to sell what I had and buy that. Sometimes I'd even make some money doing the deal. And slowly over the time, over the past 20 years that we lived in this home, we began to build and make it even better. So don't let the naysayers online discourage you from building what you want to build. You make it how you want to, and you rock it out and you enjoy it.